This is the end of an era. The 2026 World Cup will be Didier Deschamps' final tournament as France manager. After 14 years, a World Cup trophy, and 2 finals, the most successful coach in French history walks away the moment this is over. Zinedine Zidane is already waiting in the wings. But Deschamps doesn't want to leave quietly. He wants to leave with a second star on his own chest. And he's been handed maybe the deepest squad in the entire tournament to do it. The problem? He has so much attacking talent that world-class players will be watching from the bench. 11 of them get to start. Let's break down every single one, and the brutal selection calls Deschamps had to make to get here. Goalkeeper Mike Maignan. The AC Milan goalkeeper has spent years stepping out of Hugo Lloris's shadow, and now the gloves, and the responsibility, are fully his. Maignan is a modern goalkeeper in every sense. Commanding in his box, excellent with his feet, and capable of the kind of reflex saves that win you knockout games. Deschamps has stayed loyal to him throughout qualifying, and that trust is well earned. For a France team that defends as a unit and builds patiently from the back, Maignan is the ideal first link, calm under pressure, comfortable receiving the ball, and reliable when it matters most. He's not the most famous name in this squad. He doesn't need to be. Right back Jules Koundé. The Barcelona defender is one of the most intelligent footballers in this entire squad. Naturally a center-back, Koundé has been converted into a right-back at the highest level, and somehow looks like he's played there his whole career. What he brings is versatility and reading of the game. He's quick enough to recover against the fastest wingers, smart enough to pick the right moment to step into midfield, and technically clean enough to start attacks from deep. Against a Senegal side that wants to counter through pace, having a right-back as defensively secure as Koundé is a serious advantage. He won't grab headlines, but he very rarely gets exposed. And at a World Cup, that reliability is gold. Center-backs William Saliba and Dayot Upamecano. This was one of Deschamps' toughest calls. 3 elite center-backs for 2 spots, with Ibrahima Konate also pushing hard. Saliba and Upamecano are the likely pairing. Saliba has become one of the best defenders in the Premier League with Arsenal. Elegant, composed, and almost impossible to beat in a foot race. He defends like a player with all the time in the world, stepping out with the ball, snuffing out danger before it builds. There's a serenity to his game that calms the entire backline. Upamecano is the aggressive counterpart. The Bayern Munich defender is powerful, fast, and dominant in physical duels. He's had moments of recklessness in his career, but at his best he's a wrecking ball that few strikers enjoy facing. Together with Saliba's calm, they form a balance of intelligence and raw power that very few attacks can break down. Left back Theo Hernandez. One of the most attack-minded fullbacks in world football. Now playing his club football in Saudi Arabia with Al Hilal, Theo still brings a dimension to this France side that few left backs on the planet can match. When Theo gets going down that left flank, he's almost unstoppable in full flight. Powerful, direct, and capable of arriving in the box like a winger. His overlapping runs with Mbappé drifting infield create one of the most dangerous left-sided partnerships at the tournament. The trade-off is defensive. Theo loves to attack, and that can leave space behind him. Exactly the kind of space a counter-attacking team will target. But Deschamps accepts that risk, because what Theo offers going forward is simply too valuable to leave out. Defensive midfielder Aurélien Tchouaméni. The anchor. The Real Madrid midfielder is, despite being young, already one of the most trusted players in this squad. The man who sets the tempo for how aggressive or how controlled France want to be. Tchouaméni does the unglamorous work brilliantly. He shields the back four, breaks up opposition attacks, and recycles possession with a calm that belies his age. But he's more than a destroyer. His range of passing lets France switch play and dictate from deep. He's also proven he steps up in the biggest games. He was immense against England at the 2022 World Cup, and Deschamps knows that when the pressure is at its peak, Tchouaméni doesn't shrink. He grows. Central midfielder Adrien Rabiot, a longtime Deschamps favorite, and after a strong season at AC Milan, he's earned his place as the box-to-box engine alongside Tchouaméni. Rabiot's game is about covering ground. He arrives late in the box, he carries the ball through midfield, and he provides the physical presence that lets Tchouaméni sit deeper. There's a maturity to his play now. The talent was always there, but the consistency and discipline have caught up to it. It says everything about France's depth that a player of Rabiot's pedigree had to fight for his spot, with Eduardo Camavinga not even making the final squad. That omission shocked French football. Rabiot is the reason Deschamps felt he could afford it. Right wing Ousmane Dembélé, the reigning Ballon d'Or winner. Fresh off a Champions League title with PSG and one of the best individual seasons of his entire career, Dembélé has finally become the complete player his talent always promised. The two-footedness that makes him unpredictable, the directness that terrifies fullbacks. And now, crucially, the end product. Goals and assists at a rate he never reached before. He can cut inside onto either foot, beat his man on the outside, or pull the trigger from distance. For years, Dembélé was the player of immense potential, who frustrated as often as he dazzled. At this World Cup, he arrives as one of the best wide players in the world. The frustration is gone. What's left is genuinely frightening for defenders. Attacking midfielder Ryan Cherki. This is the wild card. The Manchester City playmaker has emerged as one of the most exciting attacking talents in Europe, and his form has forced his way into Deschamps' thinking for the creative role behind Mbappé. Cherki is a pure entertainer. Flicks, no-look passes, the ability to find a teammate in spaces nobody else sees. He plays with a freedom and imagination that France's attack can use to unlock the deep, compact defenses they'll face in the group stage. He's not guaranteed to start every game. Désiré Doué, Bradley Barcola, and others are all pushing hard for minutes. This is the single most competitive area of the entire France squad. But when Cherki is on the pitch and in rhythm, he can take over a match on his own. Left wing, second attacker Désiré Doué. The PSG youngster has exploded onto the scene, and his big-game temperament has already been proven on the biggest club stage of all. Doué doesn't play like a young player. He plays like someone who's been here 100 times. What he gives France is balance and directness on the opposite flank to Dembélé. He can beat a man, he can combine in tight spaces, and he can finish. With Mbappé drifting in from the left, Doué's movement and willingness to attack the box add another layer to an already overwhelming front line. He's in a brutal fight for minutes with Barcola and the others, but his ceiling is enormous, and Deschamps has shown he trusts him in the moments that matter. Striker, Captain Kylian Mbappé. The captain, the talisman, and one of the 2 or 3 best players on the planet. Mbappé arrives at this World Cup off a sensational individual season at Real Madrid, where he's continued to do what he's done his entire career, score goals at a rate that defies belief. He nominally leads the line, but his real danger comes when he drifts left, isolates a fullback, and explodes into the space behind. That pace, even now, is simply unmatchable. What's changed is the weight on his shoulders. This is his France now. With Deschamps leaving, with the squad built around him, Mbappé is no longer the kid who lit up Russia in 2018. He's the leader expected to carry a nation to its 3rd star. He has already done almost everything in the game. The one thing he wants is to lift this trophy as the man in charge. If France win it, the story will run through their number 10. Tactical snapshot. France are expected to set up in a 4-2-3-1 that shifts into a compact 4-4-2 shape when defending, Tchouaméni shielding the back 4, Rabiot as the engine, and a fluid, interchangeable front 4 built around Mbappé. The strength is almost absurd. France can hurt you in waves. The attacking depth is so deep that the players who start on the bench would walk into almost any other squad at the tournament. If one approach isn't working, Deschamps can change the entire complexion of a game with his substitutions. The vulnerability? It's more about cohesion than quality. With so many forwards rotating, the front line can occasionally lack rhythm early in tournaments, and Theo Hernandez's attacking instincts can leave space on the left for fast teams to exploit. On paper, this is one of the 2 or 3 best squads in the world. The only question is whether all that talent fits together in time. Here's my question for you. With all that attacking talent, who should start behind Mbappé, Cherki, Doué, or Barcola? Drop your pick in the comments because, honestly, even Deschamps doesn't seem sure. And if you want every contender broken down exactly like this, Argentina, England, Spain, Germany, hit subscribe because we're going through all of them before a single ball is kicked. Next up, Argentina, the defending champions. And the question hanging over the entire tournament, can Messi do it one last time?